现在这里是新康老年社区和帝国蓝十字蓝盾健保公司一同举办的在线社区安全讲座。那新康老年社区自2020年成立以来呢，在纽约地区的长者们的信任和支持下，不断的为我们社区的朋友带来和大家生活息息相关的重要的社区资讯。那我们今天就非常荣幸的邀请到纽约市皇后区地方检察官办公室欺诈局的代表们，为我们带来一场识别和预防老年诈骗的社区安全讲座。This is the online workshop hosted by Sinkang Senior Community and Empire Blue Cross Blue Shield Insurance Company.It's our great honor today to have officers from the New York City Queens District Attorney Office to present the Elder Fraud Detection and Prevention Workshop to our community's senior members. 那今天非常难得，因为皇后区地方检察官 Melinda Katz 女士和皇后区地方检察官办公室欺诈局的局长 Joseph Conley 先生也来到了我们会议的现场。那请允许我为大家简单介绍一下我们今天的这两位嘉宾。好 ，Melinda Katz，DA Melinda Katz 女士呢，她由2019月当选为纽约市皇后区地方检察官，她也是当选该职位的第1名女性。从2020年上任以来，Katz 检察官带领他的团队在全国性大流行期间新冠肺炎期间，确保在皇后区工作和生活的超过200万居民的安全。那作为皇后区的最高执法官，DA Katz 团队始终采用稳定的以社区为中心的方式，在刑事司法系统中开展着有意义的变革。Elected in November 2019,DA Melinda Katz is the first woman to serve as Queens County District Attorney in the city of New York. Since taking office during an unprecedented time in 2020, the district attorney has led her office through a nationwide pandemic to ensure the safety of more than 2 million people who live and work in Queensboro. As the top law enforcement official in the borough of Queens,DA Katz brings a steady, community-centered approach to the office, while also helping to implement meaningful changes in the criminal justice system. 我同时也为大家介绍，我们 Joseph Conley 先生是皇后区地方检察官办公室欺诈局的局长。Conley 先生曾在长岛 Suffolk 地方检察官办公室工作超过16年。在那里，他曾在多个调查局任职，并于2005年帮助创建了税务犯罪部门，将数百名被告定罪，从而追回了每年数百万美元的损失收入。康利先生此前还曾在纽约州税务和财政部担任曼哈顿特别调查组的副检察长。他还拥有纽约陆军国民警卫队中校的军衔，担任第42步兵室的副参谋法官代言人。Mr. Conley was previously employed for over 16 years at the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office, where he served in several investigative bureaus and helped create the Tax Crimes Unit in 2005, leading to the convictions of the hundreds of defendants, resulting in the recovery of millions of dollars in lost revenue every year. Mr. Conley also previously worked at the New York State Department of Taxation and Finance as the Deputy Attorney in charge of the Manhattan Special Investigation Unit. Mr. Conley also holds the rank of Lieutenant Colonel in the New York Army National Guard, serving as the Deputy Staff Judge Advocate of the 42nd Infantry Division. 那下面我们就有请 DA Melinda Katz 女士致辞。Let's welcome DA Melinda Katz to offer the opening remark for today's event.
Good morning and good afternoon, and thank you to Zinkan, to Crystal Tang, and to Empire Blue Cross Blue Shield for all the work that they are doing. I know I see Kyle Lee on the phone. I'd like to acknowledge ADA Joe Connolly for the work that he does as head of our Frauds Bureau, and of course to Darren Wilkes, our Elder Fraud Coordinator. I apologize for doing this on the run. As you see, I'm in my car. I am going from place to place. So thank you for allowing me a few minutes. But this is so important because in 2020, there were 2.2 million reports of fraud, totaling a loss of $3.3 billion in our country. In addition to losses from crypto-related crime, in addition to those losses for elder fraud, crypto-related crime rose 79% from a year earlier, and it's driven by a spike in thefts and scams. We need members of the community to report these crimes as soon as they possibly can. Evidence such as cell phone records and time-sensitive documents are very important to making sure that we get prosecutions when it comes to elder fraud. And the Queens DA Elder Fraud Units invest.
我先简单的把刚才第一凯斯说的话翻译一下。
好的。
首先呢，非常感谢我们的新康社区中心以及我们的蓝十字这个帝国蓝十字的保险公司邀请我们来做今天这个讲座。那么呢，也是非常感谢我们的这个助理检察官周康利以及他的团队 Darren Wilkes 将给我们做这样一个演讲。那么呢，很抱歉，我现在是在这个车上，因为我每天要去不同的地方，要有很多的这个去不同的地方，所以说请大家原谅。那么在过去2020年的时候呢，有220万的这个有关诈骗方面的损失，金额将近达到了33亿元，在全国范围之内。那么有关于这个金融货币方面的这个数字货币方面的诈骗，大约上升了79%。所以说我们可以说，遇到这些诈骗情况呢，我们希望我们的社区民众能够给我们及时的这个报案，这样呢，我们可以及时的收集到就是你的电话信息啊，或者一些，因为这些证据都是非常有时效性的。所以说呢，在这里呢也是非常高兴能够和大家在一起。
好，感谢 Elizabeth， 非常感谢。我们 DA Cast 因为他是在车上啊，他要在不同的地方进行办公哦，所以他的信号可能是现在受到了一些影响哈，所以我们会，他如果进入我们这个会议室的时候，我们会收到通知哈。好，好。下面呢，我们也有请我们这个 Kyle 雷先生啊，代表我们 Empire Blue Cross Blue Shield 帝国蓝十字蓝盾公司为我们今天的活动进行致辞，有请 Kyle。
大家各位好，对，今天是正月15哈，我在这边也祝大家团团圆圆事事如意，还有事事顺利大家健健康康的。对今天很高兴我们 Empire Blue Cross Blue Shield跟新康 Community 这边的再次的合作再次再提供一个平台，服务给所有的叔叔阿姨甚至乎我们需要的所有的长者因为长者的这个目前出现的一些欺骗的一个情况呢，是非常的普遍的我很高兴，我每次打电话给我们的会员，甚至乎我们的其他的有意思想参加我们公司保险的人员的时候，他们呢都会有一个很高的这个反诈骗的一个意识。比如说我有时候问他们说你的地址是哪里公卡号码各方面大家也知道我们做红蓝卡的有时候也是需要这部分的资讯在里面的，所以也会问到出生日期或者公卡这方面。然后很大一部分的人他们真的是需要就是跟我确认了以后比如说李先生方便把你的卡片发过来吗？然后因为我也跟大家讲一下，我们的卡片上面是有那个纽约州的这个在牌照的那个号码如果是假的话呢，他们呢不会有这个号码。所以呢，大家就真的不管什么时候，如果有人在电话上面问你们哪一些私人的资料住址各方面的，真的要提高这个警觉等你自己确认了以后我认识这个人，我知道他是从哪里的，你才给所以很高兴今天我们有这个机会给大家就是提供这个平台去学习一下我们要注意的是什么谢谢你 Crystal Thank you。
好，感谢 Kyle。I think the cast is back to our event.
Yes, I apologize for the interruption. Let me just say very quickly and then turn it over to Joe Connolly and Darren. We value Zincon's and Blue Cross's relationship with the community. We value the fact that you are presenting this in order to make sure people keep their money and make sure there is no elder fraud scams. We are investigating them every single day. They are complicated at times, investigations, but they are worth it. We have gotten back a lot of money for different individuals, either because of scams or because the bank accounts or because of cyber cryptocurrency issues that have happened. So please, I'm going to end with this before I get cut off again, which is that, Joe Connolly and Darren and Christine are the best in what they do. We also never question someone's documentation, someone's immigration status. We don't care. We want to make sure that we are there for the community. We want to make sure that you report. We want to make sure the witnesses are safe. We want to make sure that the victims are safe. And we will do nothing except try to get your money back for you and hold those accountable that are trying to scam your life savings away from you. So please utilize this bureau, utilize the unit. Let the ADAs who have the expertise help you every step of the way. And make sure, please, what you're doing now is getting the word out to the community and making sure that people know in a way that I'm not able to, which is why I appreciate the partnership so much. You have gained the faith and the trust of the people in the community that you represent, and it's important to us that we get the word out. So thank you so much for your attention today to these matters.
Hello. 我可以简单的翻译一下我们 DA 台词的话，也就是说，他非常感谢我们的这个新康老年社区以及帝国蓝十字这样的一个社区关系，可以让我们保证我们每一个人能够有一个很好的，能够把这个钱能够帮助大家保证我们的这个财务的安全。当然呢，我在这里呢就会简短的稍微讲一下，一会儿呢我们的 AD 这个 John Colley 和我们的 Darren Wilkes 他们呢都会做一个详细的一个像讲座一样的信息。那么呢，希望大家也相信，也感谢大家对于我们这个团队的信任。我们也希望呢，就是告诉大家，不论你的移民的身份呢，我们都会来处理你的案件，你不需要担心自己有没有这样的移民身份。那么同时呢，我们也是尽可能去进行这个案件各方面的调查以及起诉，能够帮助大家把这个钱财能够追回来。那么呢，在最后呢，我也是希望感谢大家对我们的这份信任，也希望大家呢能够把这个信息传递给更多的人，能够让大家每一个人呢都有一个比较安全的这个财务。谢谢。
好，感谢 Elizabeth， 感谢 NDA Cast 为我们的这个活动进行的开场词。那下面我们就有请我们的 ADA Colley 先生。Let's welcome Mr. Colley.
Thank you very much. I'll keep it very brief before I turn it over to Darren Wilkes, our Elder Fraud Coordinator. As District Attorney Melinda Katz indicated, we are here for you. We do not care about immigration status. We are here to help. We have a very dedicated individual here today to give you a very detailed indoctrination to what we are looking for and what we are able to do. It is my distinct pleasure to welcome Darren Wilkes, who is our Elder Fraud Coordinator. He is an expert in this field. He is very dedicated, and he is here to help you. He will be the initial point of contact for you. So please feel free to reach out. He has been doing this for a very long time, and he is very good at what he does, and it is my pleasure to work for him. So once again, on behalf of District Attorney Melinda Katz, thank you for your time today, and we look forward to helping you out. And I will turn it over to Darren now. Thank you.
Hi, thank you, Joe. Thanks very much. Elizabeth, can you guys hear me?
Oh, no. Yes, we can hear you, Darren. Yeah.
Yes. So
Okay.
you're under the spotlight. Yes, please.
So, yes, we have a short PowerPoint presentation that I'll start here in just a minute. But I just want to thank my Bureau Chief, Joe Connolly, and especially the Elder Fraud Chief, Christine Burke. They are just two terrific people to work with. They are very good at what they do. And to have their support in the Elder Fraud unit is just terrific. So
在这里呢，我首先感谢我们的助理检察官周康利先生，同时呢，也感谢我们老年这个耆老诈骗的这个主管 Christine Berg， 他也是一位助理检察官，他今天没有在线，但是他也是经常到外面去做这方面的讲座。再次感谢他们。
Okay, so I'll share my screen and just get started on this PowerPoint presentation, and I'll make some brief comments on each slide, and I'll let Elizabeth translate.
接下来呢，我会分享我们的今天的这个讲座的信息。
Okay, so as Joe Conley and DA Katz mentioned, it's very important to report any incidents of elder fraud or what you might believe to be elder fraud. The numbers that we're seeing in the elder fraud cases are likely underreported, and it's very important for seniors, their families, to report any suspected elder fraud incidents.
那么呢，我们也可以看到，就是说，关于这个耆老诈骗以及诈骗这方面的报案呢，是非常重要的。关于这个耆老诈骗方面呢，其实呢，有很多人并没有及时的去报案，所以说我们所得到的这些数据呢，也是不是一个真正反映了这个诈骗在我们现实生活中的一个情况。
The other important thing to remember is to talk with your family, with your community, your friends, caregivers, and spread the word about what we're talking about here today. I think these events, community outreach, is vital to the protection against elder fraud and elder scams. So if I could make one hope as we talk about this today, is that you share this with as many people as possible. This outreach is going to prevent victims.
那么呢，就希望大家如果遇到了这些情况，或者生活当中碰到了这些诈骗情况，尽可能去跟你的家人说，跟你的身边的亲戚去说，然后把我们今天所讲座的一些信息，有可能去传递给你们身边的人。我们的这个团队呢，也是做很多的这个社区的接触，希望把这些有效信息都传递给大家。
Also, the numbers on your screen are pretty staggering, but they're even more staggering when you think that this is probably underreported. Elder fraud is traditionally an underreported crime, and we see the numbers going up every year. The other thing to remember is that these cases, these investigations, it is very difficult to recover money. So the best possible defense is to avoid it altogether.
那么大家在屏幕上呢，也看到了我们一个诈骗统计，有这么多数据的这个经济上损失，或者有这么多上报的诈骗，但是其实这个数字呢是远远不及于真正发生的这些案件的，因为有很多人并没有去报案。那么关于这方面的这个诈骗案呢，也是每年是呈现增长，而且呢，最可怕的就是说受害者很少能够追回他们的损失。
So we're going to talk about a number of different scams and the way they work today, and some warning signs, some red flags, and steps that you can take to avoid these scams.
那么今天呢，我们也会谈一下主要的一些诈骗的类型，以及一些诈骗给我们的一些警示，这样呢可以避免我们成为这个诈骗的这个受害者。
So we see a lot of different types of scams, but often there are just a couple of elements to all these scams that make them successful. These two main elements are usually fear or pressure and secrecy.
OK， 那么呢，我们在这个图上呢也看到了有这些诈骗的类型。那么有一些因素呢是导致了这个诈骗能够成功，一方面就是来自于恐惧，另一方面是来自于给你压力，还有一方面就是秘密进行的。
So all the scams that you're seeing here on your screen usually work because of either fear or pressure or keeping the interaction with the scammer secret. We have phone scams, we have scams on the computer, we have homeowner scams, but they all center around those two elements, either fear or pressure to take action and secrecy.
那么我们在屏幕上看到有电话诈骗，或者是电脑方面的这个诈骗，以及其他类型的这些诈骗。其实呢，就是因为你的这种恐惧，以及对方给你的这些压力，以及在这种这个诈骗者他尽可能让你给施加压力，让你在一种秘密的情况下进行，不让你周边的人知道，才使得这种诈骗能够成功。
So also some warning signs in many different types of scams, whether it's telephone, email, or mail, or in person. Any type of payment by gift card, when you're requested to pay by gift card, it's usually a warning sign that it could be a scam.
那么这里呢有一个非常好的警示的东西，就是说，如果无论是电话诈骗、电子邮件诈骗或者信件诈骗，以及个人上门的这种诈骗，如果有人以一种索取钱财的方式是让你给他这个礼品卡的话，很有可能这是一种诈骗形式。
Legitimate businesses and legitimate government agencies do not do business with by gift card payments.
也就是说，一个正规的机构或正规的政府部门，他们不可能跟你进行这种礼品卡上的这种交易。
If people or businesses are asking you to keep something a secret, it's usually a red flag or warning sign for a scam.
如果说有一些人跟你进行一些告诉你说，哦，我跟你做的事情你一定要保密哦，不要跟别人说，这同时也是一个警示标识，告诉你有可能这是一种诈骗。
Pressure, again, that's element that makes these scams work. If you're feeling pressure to sign documents that you don't understand, sign a power of attorney, or sign for a joint bank account, and you're feeling you're being pressured, that's a warning sign that you need to stop and check it out.
如果说你感觉到有种压力，对方催促你说赶快去签一个文件，或签一个由律师代表的文件，以及这个合作银行的这样一些文件的话，那么这也是一个警示的标志，告诉你有可能这是一种诈骗。
So we're going to get into some specific scams right now, but before we leave this page, I just want to highlight whether it's a telephone scam, an email scam, or in-person. You see these same elements that can raise a red flag and let you know that you have to be careful that it might be a scam.
也就是说呢，如果你们看到我刚才说的这种压力，以及在秘密情况下进行的话，这些都是给你的警示。
Okay, so it's always a little funny, and I always get some laughter when we talk to the senior community about romance scams.
当我们每次谈到这种杀猪盘诈骗的时候，可能在这个就老年人社区当中，可能他们会觉得，哎，这个事情不可能在我身上发生。
We do see a lot of romance scams. We get complaints and calls into the elder fraud unit, and it usually starts on social media or possibly texting or email. And it starts with friendship, but the friendship always seems a little bit rushed or just maybe a little bit unnatural.
其实，在我们耆老的这个中间呢，也有很多的这种杀猪盘的诈骗。往往呢，这种诈骗可能是起源于一个社交媒体上的信息，或者一个短信、一个电话。一开始是从友谊开始的，但是呢，它会很快催促你进入到一种浪漫的这种关系阶段，然后呢，就演变成了一种杀猪盘的诈骗。
Many in the elderly community, they may be living alone. They may have little contact with visitors or outside people, and they might be lonely for companionship. So this makes them particularly vulnerable to a friendship or romance scam.
因为我们这些耆老们通常是自己独居，或者他们很少跟外面世界有一些经常打交道，因此呢，使得他们特别容易成为这种杀猪盘诈骗的受害者。
So it's important to just be aware if you're communicating with people, whether it's a chat site, chat app, or a dating site, that you be aware that there are people out there that are looking to separate you from your money. And that's the real key between friendship or a romance situation and a scam, is that in the near term, a scammer will move the conversation towards asking you for money.
那么，请务必就是关注你的，比如说一些聊天的一些软件，包括一些约会的这些网站上的一些信息沟通，因为有可能这种诈骗者会逐渐把你的关系和你的关系亲近之后呢，就尽可能把你和钱进行分割。所以说呢，在这短期当中，大家一定要特别注意这种在聊天信息当中的一些有可能会出现这种诈骗。
So these scams usually have a hardship story to them. People make friends with somebody on a chat or dating site. They usually have the excuse that they're a business person working in another country. And in a very short time, there's a hardship with either them or their family, and they're asking you to send money.
往往呢，就是说，一开始通过聊天成为了朋友，然后呢，会告诉你，可能他并不是在这个国家，在别的国家，然后他可能生活遭遇了一些变故，然后就开始转而向你要钱。
So some warning signs. They never meet in person. They will always promise that they're going to come and see you or come and move to New York, but there's always an excuse why that cannot happen.
你听得懂吗？英文听得懂吗？
也就是说，他们往往呢，就是有一些这样的警示信号了。他们呢，总是不能够和你面对面的见面，然后他们会承诺会和你见面，因此会让你很快速的发展这个情侣的关系。
The relationship seems to move very fast. It goes from a friendship or a casual communications to a much more serious relationship or falling in love very quickly. And because they're trying to gain your trust, and speed is very important to the scammers.
也就是说呢，这种关系呢会发展的非常的迅速，然后呢，他们就会发展成一种相对来说比较严肃的这种情侣关系，这样呢来获得你的信任，通过这种方式呢来进一步实施下一步的诈骗。
The other warning sign here is that they want to learn much more about you, and they do not like to give too many details about themselves.
另外一个警示信号就是，他们希望呢更多的是了解你，而不是透露自己的信息。
Okay, this is a somewhat new scam, not brand new, but we've been seeing a lot more of this recently, is the cryptocurrency scams. This is one that is often coupled with a friendship or romance scam.
那么这种加密货币的诈骗呢，是一种比较新兴的诈骗方式，尤其在最近比较常见了。通常也是很多是伴随着是这种杀猪盘的诈骗和这个有关。
So on your screen, you see some examples of some emails, or this could be text, or it could even be other types of communication, WeChat or something like that, where they promise to double your money in just a couple of days, right? And this obviously is preying on greed. So people that want to make quick money, they think that they can do it by responding to these advertisements on the internet.
那么在我们的屏幕上可以看到一些邮件或者是信件，它往往呢是利用人的这种贪婪的心理，告诉你说在很短的时间当中，你能够加倍你的这个回报率，所以说来引诱你进行一些投资，加密货币的投资。
The other way the cryptocurrency scams work is they are attached to a romance scam. So the scammer meets a person on a dating site or a chat site. They become friendly, they gain some trust, and then they mention how they invest in crypto to make a lot of extra money.
还有一种呢，我们这种加密货币的诈骗，往往是和我们杀猪盘诈骗是相关联的。他通过在这个约会网站上和你慢慢熟悉了关系之后，赢得了你的信任，然后呢，就给你推荐这种加密货币的投资。
So typically, seniors are not extremely knowledgeable about the technical process for investing in cryptocurrencies. So the scammer who has gained your trust shows you how to invest, and they give you instructions. They ask you to send pictures of your computer screen, and in the end, they instruct you to transfer your cryptocurrency to another wallet, which the scammer controls, and then your money is lost.
往往呢，我们的耆老可能不是特别熟悉这种技术上的操作，于是这些诈骗者呢，通过获得了这种信任，然后就会告诉你和指导你如何去做投资，然后通过你把一些屏幕上截屏发给他，然后他用其他方式呢，把你的这个钱包里的钱转到他们的这个账户上面去，你的钱就被转移了。
So I think the takeaway for cryptocurrency is much like the old saying, there's no quick way to get rich, right? If you think you're going to answer an email and double your money, or if it was that easy, the scammer would just do it themselves and they wouldn't need to tell you about it. So there's no easy, quick shortcut to get rich. And if somebody tells you there is, it's usually a scam.
那么这个加密货币诈骗给我们的警示就是说呢，请大家务必记住，永远都没有赚快钱的这种可能性。就这种可能性是很小的，就不可能以迅速很快的方式能够让你迅速财富积累变成一个富翁。
So before I leave the cryptocurrency page, I'd just like to say that the scams that we have seen come in regarding the cryptocurrency is also a good example of seniors that got into a situation and didn't tell anybody, or didn't share it with their family, or didn't ask the advice of a professional. So that's another good example that if you think something is wrong, stop, check it out, and tell someone.
那么呢，如果耆老年人碰到了陷入了这种情况的时候，往往呢他们都是相当孤立的，他们不会把这些信息分享给他的家人，或者是给他们的认识的人。如果你要在碰到这些诈骗的，成为这种诈骗的受害者的时候，请务必呢就立即停止，然后呢去尽可能的和你身边的人去分享一下，然后以防你再进一步越陷越深。
Okay, so generally phone scams, we see a lot of different types of phone scams, from asking you to confirm information, where they want to get information about yourself, to asking you to send money or gift cards or anything like that.
那么电话诈骗呢，通常就是给你接到电话之后，跟你确认一些个人的信息，从而来获取你的个人信息，然后让你或者是发送这个叫什么礼品卡给对方。
One of the best strategies to defend against phone scams is always to verify who you're talking to and call them back on a number that you can verify, not on the number the person gives you.
那么最好的对抗这种电话诈骗的方式，就是来再一次确认一下对方的信息，不是说对方给你的这个电话号码你就打过去，而是确认一下他给这个机构的信息的电话，然后完了之后给这个机构电话去打，以确认对方是不是说的是真的。
For example, I think everyone knows now that the caller ID on the phone system can be faked, right? They can put in another number or the name of a company on their caller ID.
那么举个例子，就是我们电话有这种来电信息显示，那有时候呢，对方诈骗者可以去弄一个假的这种电话的 ID， 然后你看似好像是一个就是合理合规的这样一个机构，但其实不是。
So if you should get a phone call from the IRS, the Social Security Administration, or Con Edison, right? You can say, thank you very much for the information. I'm going to call back and take care of it. And then you can look up the phone number to Con Edison or the Internal Revenue Service or Bank of America, and you find the number yourself that you know is a legitimate number. You call back and find out if there's any issues.
如果你收到了例如来自于国税局或者是社安局以及爱迪生电力公司的电话的话，你可以跟对方说谢谢，然后过一会儿你可以再打电话过去，因为你可以去查验一下他们对方的实际的真正的电话号码是什么。
The other thing I think you'll find about phone scams, and I do this all the time when I get scam calls, which I get regularly, is just to ask a lot of questions and double check before you give them any information. Ask them a lot of questions about who they are, where they're calling from. And a lot of times the scammers will just hang up. If you start to challenge them or ask the information, a lot of times they'll just hang up. But always verify who you're talking to and call them back on a number that you can verify.
如果你接到类似这种诈骗电话的时候呢，请务必可以问一些问题，比如说你是谁，你从哪里打过来的。随着这些问题的加深呢，对方往往就会不愿意跟你说了，挂掉电话。所以说，总是你可以不要轻易的去相信他，而是去取证、去查验一下对方的身份。
Okay, the next scam we're going to talk about is the grandparent scam. This is also called a jail bail scam, a person in trouble scam. It could be about a grandson, granddaughter that got arrested or got hurt or is in the hospital, a relative in the hospital. And basically the scam comes down to that they want you to send money either to get the person out of jail or to pay for medical bills in the hospital. They use it. Okay, go ahead, Liz.
这种祖父母的诈骗呢，往往就是说你会接到电话，可能你的这个孙辈们他们陷入了麻烦，要么是进了医院，要么就是进了监狱，他会让你来汇钱，然后帮助他付医疗账单，或者是帮助他付赎金。
And once again, with this scam, we see the same two elements that we see in all these scams. They're pressuring you, they're scaring you to act quickly without thinking. And another major part of this scam is they usually tell you that someone's been arrested, that usually the grandson or granddaughter has been arrested, and you can't talk about it because the case against them is secret or sealed.
往往呢，碰到这种电话诈骗的时候，你会发现有2个因素非常明显。第一就是对方在给你施压， 在告诉你说，哦，你必须得赶快行动，怎么样能够挽救你的这个孙子或孙女儿。然后呢，还有一种方式就是说，你必须得秘密进行，因为他们正被逮捕了，这些案子不能够公开去谈，所以说你不可以告诉别人。用这2种方式呢来约束你，让你尽快的把钱汇给他们。
So obviously we know that grandparents love their grandkids and they want to act quickly to help them if they're in trouble. But the best defense against this scam is to call your family member, and you'll usually find that they're sitting home or they're in school or they're perfectly fine and nothing has happened to them.
当你接到这一类电话的时候呢，我们知道可以理解了，祖父母都是爱自己的孙辈的。那么呢，最好的方式就是打电话给你的家人，给你的亲戚验证一下，也许你会发现他们的孙儿安然无恙，根本没有事。所以说呢，你就避免你陷入这种诈骗。
So I like to tell people that the best defense is to verify or stop, check, and tell someone, right? Stop, check, and tell someone.
最好的这个方式，对抗的方式就是先停一停，然后呢去验证一下，然后呢跟你身边的人说。
So, internet email scams. These are always tricky because emails can be faked. The company logos can be faked and they can look fairly real.
电子邮件诈骗呢，其实也是非常常见的，因为呢，我们收到了一些邮件，比如说一公司的这个标志、这个标签，它往往呢有可能会是被假冒的，并不是一个真的公司。
So typically these emails are trying to get you to click on them or asking for personal information or to verify personal information or to verify account information. And the bottom line is they're trying to get you to give information or click on the email.
这一类诈骗呢，电子邮件诈骗往往就是让你按其中的一个链接，用来验证你的个人信息，来获取你的这种个人信息或者账号的信息，从而来获取钱财。
So once again, a good strategy for these is to stop and verify, right? So you can, if you get an email from Amazon asking to verify your account information, before you open the email, or if it looks strange, you can get on the phone and get a number for Amazon and call them and ask them if there's an issue with your account.
对抗这种诈骗的方式呢，也是停一停，再次验证。比如说您收到了一封来自于亚马逊的这个邮件，然后呢要问你一些账户的信息，那么呢你可以先停一停，然后或者是打电话给亚马逊，或者是到你的电脑上去查一下亚马逊的账户的信息是不是跟他说的这个相关联。
Also, sometimes these email phishing scams will have links in the email that are similar to an actual link, but it will be somewhat different. For instance, it could be Amazon with something else at the end of Amazon, or it could be Amazon 123, or something. It could be similar but not exact. And that's a warning sign that it could be a phishing link.
还有一种就是钓鱼的邮件，它可能这种邮件会让你按其中的链接，那你还是得看一下这个邮件的这个发信方他们的这个邮箱的这个地址，有的时候并不是来自于比如说亚马逊 .com， 而是有亚马逊什么123，亚马逊什么加了一堆后缀根本不认识的这种邮件，所以这个时候就要特别的审慎。
So it's just always a good idea to see if you can check it out by phone or go on their website before you click on the email link.
最好的方式就是务必停一停，然后去再次检查一下，通过打电话的方式或者到网站的方式来检查他们所发的这个信息是不是真的。
as it says up here, some of these links will actually connect to the scammer and give them control of your computer, and then they will charge you money to get your computer back.
那么这些这个钓鱼邮件上面的这些链接呢，有的时候会和这个诈骗者相连接，你一旦点了之后，他们可能远程会控制你的电脑。
Okay, another big scam that we've seen quite a bit of is a lottery or sweepstakes scam, where you get either an email, a text, or some other chat website that you get a communication that you've won a lottery or sweepstakes.
这种彩票中奖的诈骗呢，也就是你收到一封邮件或者一个短信，告诉你说，你中了彩票，中头奖。
So one recent scam that I heard of recently was a Facebook sweepstakes prize.
最近我碰到的一个案件呢，是和这个脸书，然后说你中奖了。
So the important thing to keep in mind in any legitimate lottery or sweepstakes is that they take any fees or taxes out of the winnings. So if they're asking you to pay money for fees or taxes, that's usually a very big red flag that the lottery is not legitimate.
往往呢，在你获得这种中奖信息的时候，它会让你去回复一部分的费用，用来付税，以这种方式来榨取你的钱财。
You might even get very official looking papers in the mail with a lot of official stamps or signatures, and it could be from what appears to be a government agency. But in the end, if they're asking for money to pay money for fees or taxes, it's likely a scam.
很有可能你收到邮件就长得特别像一个公函，但是呢，它会让你先支付一定的钱来用作是税金。这种情况下，很有可能多半情况下都是诈骗。
Okay, just a few things on some homeowner scams that we see quite a bit. Some of these can be in person. Some of these can be by email or phone. First, I'll talk about deed fraud. A lot of times people run into problems with deed scams through either mortgage offers or family or caregiver deed fraud.
那么我们这边讲的呢是屋主诈骗。屋主诈骗可能发生的形式有可能是面对面的，人上门来的，还有可能是电子邮件或者电话方面的。很多呢是跟这个房契诈骗有关，或者是贷款，给你一些好的贷款的这样的一些优利的条件，通过这种方式来获取你的这个房契。
So if you're interested in some type of mortgage product or reverse mortgage, or you have any issues with foreclosure and you've received foreclosure help with a refinance, it's important to consult a trusted professional.
如果你需要在贷款或者是反向抵押、法拍屋以及再贷款方面有这方面的需要，请务必去寻找一些专业的、合法的这样的一些机构。
If some unknown person shows up at your house and gives you some information about a mortgage or a foreclosure help, the best thing to do is just to tell them thank you and you'll be in touch with them. But if you need these types of services, to consult a verified professional.
如果有一些你不认识人上门跟你说我可以提供这些方面的信息的话呢，你可以跟他说谢谢，然后我们再联系。但是关键的是还是要找到这种可以有就是法律认证过的这样的一些机构去寻求这些帮助。
Sometimes in these scams, we see that people come to your house and they give you some offer of an unbelievable mortgage that can help you. And when you sign all the paperwork that they pressure you to sign, before you know it, you've signed over a deed transfer and you no longer own your house.
有一些这个诈骗者呢会登门拜访，然后会给你提供很好的、很优惠的条件，让你去签一些文件。也可能你不知道这些文件实际内容，你就变成了你的这个房契的转让的一个文件。所以说，在签文件之前务必要审慎。
So it's very important that if you are interested in any of these products, mortgage, reverse mortgage, or you need help with refinancing, not to work with some stranger that shows up at your house uninvited, but to seek out a reputable, verified professional, a finance professional, a real estate attorney that you can verify, and not sign documents that you don't understand.
就是简单来说呢，一句话，你如果需要这些方面的帮助的时候呢，请你不要和一个你完全不认识陌生人去接触，或者说就信任他的话，一定要找一个官方认证的、比较合理合法的这样一个机构去寻求这方面的帮助。
The other thing we see a lot with homeowner scams is construction or home improvement scams. Somebody knocks on your door and they say that they're a company working, fixing a roof in the area, and they want to offer you a great deal on fixing your roof. But only if you pay cash, and only if you pay cash all up front.
还有一种呢，就是这种上门的兜售的这种帮助你家庭装修或者改善你的这个家建的这些方面的人，他们上门说啊，给你修一下房屋，然后给你很好的这个优惠，要求你付现金。
So what happens sometimes with these home improvement scams is they take $9,000 or $10,000. They'll give you a discount for doing the roof if you pay cash, and they'll take all your money up front, and you'll never see them again, and your roof will not be fixed.
就是这些人，他们可能说，哦，我给你一个很好的优惠条件，然后呢，让你付现金，你把现金支付之后，可能这些人就消失了，再也不会出现在你面前，你的房屋还是漏。
So with the home improvement companies, it's important to get references, make sure it's a verified company, and usually it's typical to pay maybe a third or half upfront, and once the construction reaches a certain completion, they get another payment, and then the final payment is due after the construction is totally complete.
那么对于这种家庭装修方面给你优惠条件这些公司呢，你就是可以通过第三方他们帮助你介绍的这样的公司，或者说你经过认证的这样的公司会比较好。另外呢，也不要一下头就把所有的钱都支付了，可以通过几次付款的方式，等他工作完成再付最后一笔尾款的方式呢，来确保你的这个财务的安全。
So this is our last kind of general scam slide, and it's just generally about social media scams. And the one important takeaway that you should remember about social media and the internet is whatever you put up on the internet, it pretty much is on the internet forever.
那么这最后一种诈骗呢，是我们说的社交媒体诈骗。也就是说，大家务必记住，无论你在社交网站上放了任何的信息或者什么图片，这将会是永久的，因为永远都拿不下来的。
This type of scam also, if you remember back to our romance scams that we talked about a little while ago, this type of scam can be tied with a romance scam, where somebody meets someone on the internet, a friendship or romance quickly develops, and maybe messages are sent back and forth, maybe pictures are sent back and forth, and the next thing you know, you get an email trying to elicit money in order to prevent things from being on the internet.
那么我们说的这种社交媒体的诈骗，往往和这种杀猪盘诈骗有的时候会有关联，会有联系。因为经过几番的这种熟络之后，在网上你可能会发一些照片啊，或者一些信息，然后对方掌握了你这些东西，你又不想被在网上发布的话，很有可能对方就会向你索要钱财。
So I'll finish this slide just by saying that be very careful revealing personal details to strangers on the internet, and be very careful what topics or what things you post online, because they're going to be there for a long, long time.
所以在这个网上发布的这些个人信息，你要特别的当心，以及包括你发布的什么内容的东西也要特别当心，因为一旦上网了，就很难被消除。
Okay, so it's just some final warning signs to keep in mind of pretty much all our scams that we talked today. They all involve usually payment of money, or so whether it's by wire or gift card, if you're sending money to people that you haven't met or that you don't know, it's a big red flag for a scam.
那么避免成为受害者呢，就是千万注意，如果各种交流都会和钱有关系，让你去汇钱或者是发这个礼品卡的话，那么请就是一定要特别注意，特别审慎。
Okay. If people you don't know are asking you to keep things secret, having to do with money or your bank account or anything like that, that's another big red flag for a scam.
如果说你和任何不认识人打交道的时候，那个人让你保密，这个信息要保密，我们俩之间的沟通，然后牵涉到钱或者你的银行的账户，这个也是给你一个警示，有可能是诈骗。
Providing personal information, whether it's your bank account or other accounts, your social security number or your date of birth, your credit card number. If people are asking you for this type of information, that's a big red flag that somebody's about to scam you.
如果说你被索取要你的这个银行账户信息、涉案号、你的生日、你的信用卡的这些信息，这个时候你也要当心，因为很有可能这和这个诈骗会有相关联。
So also, if you're feeling pressure to sign things, sign documents, change your bank account, change your deed to your house, give somebody power of attorney. If you're feeling uncomfortable or you're feeling pressured or you feel like you don't understand what's happening, that's a time to stop and ask someone or seek out the advice of a professional, that it could be something related to a scam.
如果你被让人催促着去签一些文件，或者是改变你的账户信息，以及你的这个地契的房契的信息，或者是让某些律师来代理你的时候，你感觉到本身觉得不舒服，或者觉得有压力，或者是觉得你不理解这些文件的时候，请你务必大家可以停一停，不要那么着急。
Okay, so we put some information up here on what to do if you believe you might be a victim of a scam. And so this is important to have available. As we mentioned a couple of times, it's important to report these things. Even if you think you might be, but you're not sure, contact your local precinct, ask them. You can contact us, the Elder Fraud Office, right? The Frauds Bureau, the Elder Fraud Unit number, that's my number, it's up on your screen, 286-6578. If it's more of a consumer-related issue, and maybe it's not elder fraud, you can call a consumer fraud hotline. The Federal Trade Commission has a lot of great information on their website. They also keep data on scams and complaints. And they have taken action in the past in various entities. I believe when the scammers were using the MoneyGram and Western Union, the FTC took action to regulate the MoneyGram and Western Union type of payments because they were being used by a lot of scammers. So here's some great information for you to take down. Phone numbers, the FBI, ic3.gov, and of course the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission.
如果您成为受害人呢，我们这边屏幕上方呢也有一些这个报案的方式，除了跟当地警察局以外，也可以跟我们办公室联系。那么7828666578呢，也是我们这个做讲员的这个 Daren 他的电话。如果你要遇到了这个耆老诈骗的话，你可以打这支电话跟我们办公室联系。此外呢，还有这个 FBI 的网络犯罪投诉中心以及联邦电信委员会的消费者诈骗的这个网站和电话，你们都可以通过这些信息呢来获取、寻求这些机构给你的帮助。
Okay, so Liz, I'm not sure. Are you guys going to do some questions now, or?
对，yes, yeah. So we are open for the questions. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Wilkes. Thank you for the presentation. Detailed information, very thorough. So we're gonna welcome questions from our event audience. 所以在线的那个叔叔阿姨们，我们刚才Wilkes 先生已经就我们老年诈骗的这个常用的手段方式以及我们预防的方法做了详细的这个解说。然后现场的观众朋友，如果你有任何的问题的话，现在可以打开您的这个解除静音，打开您的小话筒，然后我们有这个难得的机会在现场和我们的嘉宾进行交流。
我有一个问题请教，就是讲的内容啊，可不可以不寄一份发在网上啊？
Yeah, I have a question. So the presentation, can we have a copy of the presentation, and then all the Shinkang senior community can post on the website, and then we can have access for those information.
Yeah, so I guess Liz, maybe I can make it available to you to share, right? So
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I'll give you a copy of it.
OK， 这位阿姨你好，我们可以就是跟新康联系，然后把我们的这个相关的信息发给你们，然后可以放在网站上，你可以随时去查看。
谢谢。
不用。
谢谢 Elizabeth。然后这位阿姨，不知道您贵姓哈？您的名字是梁瑞华，可能是要称呼您为梁阿姨哈。我们就是新康老年社区组织的所有的讲座相关信息都会发布在我们社区的我们的群，还有我们的社区的 APP 手机软件上面啊。然后今天的活动也有录音、录影啊、录像，所以也会发布在我们这个社区的 YouTube 频道上啊。所以欢迎阿姨关注。如果您想要知道加入社区的方法，回头可以跟我们工作人员联系，我们会帮助您。
好，谢谢。
好的，我们现场也可以欢迎其他的朋友们打开小话筒，然后如果您有具体的问题的话，都可以趁现在这个时间进行交流提问。陈阿姨，我看您把这个静音取消了，咱们是有一些其他的问题吗？霆凤阿姨，
我没有，我就是想听听你们在说什么。
其实我是有一个问题，然后这个问题也曾经发生在我自己的身上啊，因为我们年轻人和老年人其实都很常用这个卡，那我们社区就即将要举办讲座，告诉大家怎么去使用 Apple Pay， iPhone payment。So, and also New York subway is going to launch the OMNY system. So going forward, the entire community is encouraging residents to use credit card as a payment, for shopping and transportation purpose. 所以，越来越多的社会机构都在鼓励我们的居民开始使用电子支付的方式。所以在信用卡这个使用过程中，就可能出现 identity theft。OK， 卡被盗刷、盗用。所以，当这件事情发生的时候，不发生在我们自己身上，我们是感觉不到这个压力和困惑的。一旦发生之后，我们要遵循什么样的顺序，有什么样的流程，去保证我们被盗的这个 identity 个人的身份。比如说，因为你信用卡被盗，卡号跟你的涉案号可能都有盗窃的风险。所以，这个具体的流程是怎么样，我们可以今天在现场听一下。好，麻烦 Elizabeth。
Hey, Darren, the question is, nowadays, more and more people are using the electronic payment. And then if the identity theft occur to me, what is the way we need to go through to protect my identity?
Okay, good question. So I think before I get into that answer, I think the other thing to remember is we talked about reporting these incidents of scams, but the other thing to remember that's important is reporting it timely, because for us to investigate these types of things, and that it usually involves getting records or video or something like that. And the longer you wait, if you wait, a few months or something, that information may not be available. So the first thing to remember is to report these things. A lot of times your bank will ask you to do a fraud affidavit. Typically with identity theft things, you're going to need a police report. So it's a very good idea for you to first go to your local police precinct and make a police report. Your bank, if you do an official fraud complaint, will most likely require a police report. So that's kind of your first two steps, is to report it to your local precinct, get the police report, you'll get a report number, and then you have to make the official fraud complaint with your bank. And again, if you do this quickly, your bank may be able to reimburse you. But if you wait, 30 days or more than 30 days, sometimes the bank may have rules where they do not reimburse if you don't report it within a certain period, or if you don't get the police report and fill out the official fraud complaint with the bank. So those are the two important steps if you think you're a victim of identity theft to do as soon as possible.
这是一个非常好的问题，因为在我们生活当中经常都有可能发生。那么就在我刚才说我们在报案作为这个诈骗者受害人的时候，有一点是我需要强调的，就是要及时报案。因为我们的比如说一些手机的信息或者一些视频的信息，有很多都是有时效性的，包括一些短信信息，过一段时间可能都会消失了。所以说一定要及时报案。那么如果碰到这个身份诈骗的时候呢，你的信用卡被盗刷了，第一个是你需要到你的地方的警察局去报案，然后获得一个警局的这个报案的号码。有了这个号码之后呢，你可以再到你的这个信用卡相关联的银行去，然后去进行一个这个正式的这种信用卡被盗用的这样一个投诉。如果你报案及时的话，很多信用卡公司可以返还你的这个被盗刷的钱，但是如果超过了一定的时效性的话，这些钱的话就很难被追回来。所以说在这里我务必强调的是要及时的非常快的去报案，这点非常重要。
Thank you so much for your thorough explanation. Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you.
The successful event and also the support, very importantly, the support from Empire, Blue Cross Blue Shield to bring such valuable resources to our community. 同时呢，我们也要感谢在场的今天到场的我们所有的叔叔阿姨们啊！希望今天的这个讲座非常重要的一个话题，能够得到越来越多的人的关注啊！ 当诈骗事件发生之前，我们作为旁观者总是认为 it's impossible 不可能发生在我和我的家人身上。但是恰恰的是这样的想法会让我们疏忽提防所以越来越多的知道这个诈骗的形式和怎么预防，对我们自己和家人的这个社区安全都是非常有益的。我们也希望在新康社区、新康老年社区持续的给大家提供这样的机会和资源在我们的生活上面提供更多的资讯，帮助大家生活得更安全、更健康和更快乐。